If Sirish is ready, we'll start.
Ready.
Okay. Chalo. Okay, today's topic is time management. Actually, how do you look at time? What is time? What is it important? Is it important, time management?
Definitely it is important,
Yeah.
but only thing we cannot manage it.
We cannot manage it, yeah?
We cannot manage it, we can only organize.
We can organize it, okay? So it's one of the most important resources, time. Time is your most important resource, and we generally tend to waste it. And wasting is also, I'm not talking in terms of, like, for like hugely wasting, not like that. Most of our time we are wasting in minutes. By minutes we are wasting time. And as Paul Meyer says, and we feel that it is nothing, wasting 5 minutes, either 2 minutes, either, it all adds up to a lot. As Paul Meyer says, if a bucket of water, if that bucket has got a small hole at the bottom, that bucket will become empty, just like the bucket which we kick over also immediately. So, as some people say, take care of the minutes and the hours will take care of themselves. Okay. Henry Ford said, it is my observation in life that most people go ahead in life in the time that is wasted by others. Okay, so, and then you can have any number of quotations about everybody said Benjamin Franklin, let's say, we'll talk about Benjamin Franklin later on. But Napoleon said, you ask me for anything but time. Okay. And our Amitabh Bachchan said, the time is so important, I wish my day was at least 28 hours and not 24 hours. J.R.D. Tata said that, what did he say, something? Mind your word, mind your talk. Okay. So that way people are, and somebody said the essence or the time management is the critical issue in corporate management. In corporate management, time management is critical. Topmost critical. Okay. So that's how, that's just to build up the feeling of the importance of time. We'll put it in another example. Supposing you imagine a situation where somebody is going to give you 86,400 rupees early in the morning for you to spend it any way that you want to spend it. Okay, the choice is entirely yours. Spend it, do whatever you want to do with it. 86,400 rupees. Only one condition, you can't take it on next day. Next day they will take that money and they'll give you fresh 86,400. Okay, so you will always get 86,000. Now how will we spend it? You see, most people will waste it. A few people, very conservative people, might save a little. You see. And the ones who are the ones who will be successful and in life, etc., will use it wisely, invest it wisely. So that is what we need to do with time. We need to invest it wisely. Okay. When Benjamin Franklin said that, do you love life? If you love life, take care of your time. Because that is the stuff of which life is made. That is what he said. Okay. In other words, this part we can just end up by saying, time management basically is life management. Your entire life is managed by that. Not only time in your corporate office, but time elsewhere also, off the field also, as they say. Okay. Now, what is the characteristic of time? There are a few simple characteristics of time. You can add to that also. All of you have experienced life fully. One characteristic of time is that it does not favor anybody. It gives equally to everybody. Everybody gets 24 hours a day. President Donald Trump doesn't get 26 hours even if he wants it. Okay? So that is one thing. It is equal. Second would be its quality. It has no quality. It's like water, colorless. There is no. You have to give Quality. Yeah, how you, in the 24 boxes are empty boxes. It is up to you to fill it any way you want it.
It's like a lemon. You make lemonade.
Yeah, you do what you want. Yeah. So he will in that box put all photos of Sunny Leon, and he will put Virat Kohli's photo if you want. And this gentleman, well, I don't know whose photo you will put. Okay, whatever it is. Okay. The idea is that it is your time. Okay. So quality is not there. Then it cannot be carried. It's not portable. अभी हम जाएगा नागपुर तो स्पेंड करेगा you save some money ये रखेगा तो नागपुर में you can't do that with time. You can't buy time also. Market में मिलता है ना yeah, there's one thing you can buy time in another way if you look at it. It's like say you spend as a resource you can say a simple thing. You drive your own car, and in Bombay it is so difficult to drive and so much tension. You can't do anything else. It's tension. So you can buy time in the sense that you can employ a driver, pay him 10,000-15,000 a month, so that you get a 1 hour per day free, 1 hour up and 1 hour down, which time you can use for your own development, etc. Yeah, that's right. Delegate, and we'll come to all that. So it is not portable. It is not. It cannot be bought. It is irreversible. Once time gone means gone, you can't call it back. Then what else? It cannot be stored also. You cannot take it like you're storing something and then carry it somewhere. No, you use it or it's gone, etc. And so these are the 6 or 7 outstanding characteristics. It cannot be borrowed also. 10 rupees, 15 rupees, Sirish will give me, but time he can't give me. So you cannot borrow it. And lastly, it is illusory. Illusory is relativity. When I am doing something which I like to do, which I enjoy doing, which I am good at, then time seems to pass very fast. And yeah, not even a pleasant time also. Talking to my girlfriend hours will go. And talking to my wife, it looks so long. Okay, so it is illusory in that way. That if you are doing work which you don't like, etc., then you might get bored. You feel tired, and you feel time is not passing at all. Whereas quality time
is
perceived. So it's a question of individual perception. So these are the 6 or 7 qualities of time. If you got any others, you can add on to that and tell me.
Same thing. It cannot wait.
It cannot wait and all. You have to use it. Okay, fine. Then what are the benefits of time management?
Improve your quality.
Improve your quality of life. What else? Simple benefits.
Effective,
we become more effective.
You know what you have to do next.
What you have to do next? Okay,
Utility.
utility also. Okay, I have forgot it. Higher productivity, and satisfaction, both in professional and personal life. Mind you, this is time management not only for professional life, in your whole life as a okay. So that is the first benefit of time management: higher productivity and satisfaction. Second will be, it frees more time for doing things which you like to do, things which improve the quality of life. You have to do certain work. So if you are staying at Pedder Road and you have to go to work at Malad, you have to spend 1 hour traveling up and 1 hour traveling down, plus 8 hours in the off. Okay. But if you free that time, if you have a helicopter which takes you to Malad in 5 minutes, then you have 1 hour for reading and for listening to music or whatever it is. Okay. So it frees time, and so that it can result in improvement in the quality of your life. Your work is better organized. You have more time to concentrate on the difficult aspects of your work, etc. Thirdly, you get a feeling of self-mastery when you manage time well. Because when you're managing time well, you're focused and you get good results. You can see for yourself attaining a goal, small goals which you have made. So you feel confident. Your confidence level goes up. Okay. And you feel that you can do anything, you can face any situation, you have a feeling of mastery, self-mastery. Then creativity can increase if you manage your time well. Because if you manage your time well, you have focused thinking. Your mind is focused, and that leads to creativity. We'll come to our next. It improves delegation. Time management improves delegation. Yes? Do you know what is delegation? It's asking somebody else to do the job which you are supposed to do and authorizing him to do it. Okay, but delegation is a very important tool for time management. So you do only the work which only you are capable of doing. Don't do work which others. And not only you benefit when you delegate, your subordinates also become better. They develop their personality, they develop their efficiency, etc. Okay, so time management improves delegation. You have more energy naturally, because if you work well, organize well, you have more energy. Okay, and lastly, it's you have lower stress. Just only somebody was telling you stress both in life together. Yeah, if you manage time well,
Stress level.
even a small thing. I've come from Mahim. I know it will take about half an hour, but I've earmarked 45 minutes. And so I enjoyed that ride. I didn't have to keep looking at my watch every time. अभी कितना time होगा? अभी तो सिद्धिविनायक का temple भी नहीं आया. Charges so far. Anxiety level goes up, for even small things, etc. Okay. So these are some of the benefits of time management. So what are the three things? What is time we have done? What are the benefits of time management? What are the quality of time management? Now we go a little bit on becoming effective time managers. Okay. So first thing is important thing is setting priorities. Setting priorities is the most important. The essence of time management lies in setting priorities, in knowing what to do first. Okay. It is your ability to see and to organize yourself and your around your priorities. Okay. The ability to know what to do first and list it out, your priorities, is the most critical skill in time management. What should I do first? Take a small example in your own house also. Suppose there is a wedding to be performed in your house. Your son's wedding, your daughter's wedding, anybody. I mean, you're not too old, it may be your wedding also, doesn't matter. Now, you know so many things have to be done. But are you going to go and book a hall before even finding your partner? Okay. Are you going to order for ice cream and for food without knowing how many people you are calling? Yeah. So you list out what you need to do. First thing, maybe let's see, in Bombay it's difficult to get a hall in the wedding season. So can I get a hall of my liking in the area I want? That would be the first thing. Once you get that date becomes fixed. Then how much time you need for having to printing the cards, etc. Then whether you have to personally go and invite people, etc. So you list it out, priorities. So that is the first thing about effective time management. It lies in your ability to see and organize around priorities. The ability to know what is a priority, what to do, is the essence and is the most critical skill in time management. Pascal said, he said it a little humorously, he said, the last thing we know is what is the first thing to do. The last,
That happens.
it happens that way. Yeah. In small things happen like that. You have to meet somebody also. No. Now, what would you do? You first take things that get into control what is not in your control. There is a 6:10 train. Then you'll see that you go there at 6:10 because otherwise up to 8 o'clock you have to wait. So instead of rushing up there for 6:10, you think of other things, then you're going to miss that. So know what is important, and in other words, when you work with priorities. Know what is your priorities, and accordingly you work. Okay. Otherwise, you have a tendency to confuse activity with accomplishment. You are very busy, but at the end of the day, you find what have you achieved, what have you done, then kuch hai nahi. But you are busy. You are not from morning 9 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock, 9 hours you are in the office. You are busy. But your achievement, accomplishment is nothing. Okay. So that is very important. Setting priorities. Then you have to have some idea about what are known as, we do all type of work. Now in the corporate city I'm talking, we do all type of work. But there are certain types of work which are called maintenance tasks and certain types of work which are called progress tasks. So when you do maintenance tasks, maintenance is a task which does not lift you to a better position than before. It has to, where it was there, you just maintain that. Whereas the progress task is one where when you complete it, you become slightly better, you go slightly higher. You can take any number of examples. I'm not a technical man, but I would feel something, say my computer is not working because whatever is happening, the battery is failed down or
Inoperative system.
yeah, whatever it is there. So if I get it fixed up, that is my maintenance task. When it is fixed up and becomes all right, I'm not better than what I was before it got spoiled. I'm just that only. But supposing I develop a new software, a new language, or whatever it is, which is pertaining to my type of work, etc. Now that would become a progress task. I will be better off. My output, my productivity, or whatever it is that I'm looking for, will improve. Okay, so for effective time management, what is required is a good balance between maintenance and progress tasks. Maintenance tasks you will have to do. It's not that you won't do because you don't like, but you have a proper balance. Or another way to put it, that don't let your sense of urgency. A maintenance task will be urgent task, So don't let it cloud your progress task. So have a proper balance with proper moderation, etc. So that is maintenance. Then we have urgent and important tasks. Urgent tasks have to be done. Now let's see this urgent and important. Now maintenance tasks generally is what, urgent or important?
Maintenance is urgent.
It could be important also.
But it may not be important.
Yeah, but urgent generally it is urgent, and because it is urgent, it is very easy to justify doing it.
Yes.
I'm doing this.
Paying the bill on the
Paying the bill on the yeah, and it is easy to justify. Whereas important tasks improve the quality of your work, quality of your life, and they do not look urgent, and therefore you are tempted to postpone it, put it off. Arre kal karega, kal karega. That attitude you have.
training program.
Yeah. Okay. So the important aspect of time management is we should not let our sense of urgency cloud what is important for us. Should not forget what is important for us. Otherwise, at the end of 10 years of your life, what have you done? What you are doing on the first day also, stepping or something like that. Okay. You want me to draw this? I would like to. Quadrant. Aap karenge? There are, what we can do, the effective way to prioritize our activities. Now we have learned maintenance and progress, urgent, is to have a time management matrix with two factors, urgency and importance. You just do it briefly. Yeah. Make it this way. You pay him when he's going out. Huh?
He'll also be on the YouTube with you now.
He will also come on the YouTube. He has to pay me for this.
Maintenance. Progress maintenance.
You have,
If I'm wrong, you correct me.
there you put, wait 1 minute, just move this. There are 4 quadrants. Here will be urgent activities. This block will be urgent. You write here urgent on top. And this side will be not urgent. Okay. And this will be important. And this will be not important. You got these 4 quadrants? Anita, are you listening? Okay.
Urgent, important, and
What's it? Okay. So in this quadrant, what will be there? Urgent task, okay, and pressing problems, deadline project, etc. Okay, that will be here.
Right.
You're not right. You want me to write that? Write it. Okay, write 1 or 2. Crisis, deadline, project. And in this one, in quadrant 2, one more you write, deadline you write?
Yeah.
Deadline, crisis, etc. Okay, pressing problems.
Yeah.
Crisis, pressing problems, etc. Now this has to be attended to because it is both, can you see it?
Both, yeah.
It is both urgent and important. But if you are in this quadrant all the time, it will lead to a lot of burnout, stress. So it's not advisable to be very long in this quadrant. Okay. So we go to quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 is the quadrant of quality.
To improve quality of life.
To improve quality, productivity, then relationship building, planning, long term, etc. Right? Just
Quality of life,
yeah,
relationship.
relationship, recreation, etc. You can put that is a quadrant of quality. If the quality of life will improve. Okay. Third one here is not important.
Yeah.
Not important. So here in this quadrant, what will be there? There will be interruptions, mails.
Interaction last day. But,
Yeah, right.
if you like in company.
Interruption, reports, some
Reports, yeah.
unscheduled meetings, etc. will be in that quadrant. So it is not important, but it is urgent. So you will have to deal with that. And fourth is quadrant is a quadrant of waste. And sometimes most of us
Minor things. Minor
not yeah, just gossiping, chit-chatting, कल picture देखा क्या कौन मरने क्या करो पत्ती में क्या हो गया time pass, yes, correct. Yep.
Increase knowledge by your own time.
Wasteful activities. It is ideally one should not be in this quadrant at all.
Yes, yes.
Ideally, but then human beings being what they are. Yeah, but this is important. So you must have this idea where you are functioning from. Ideally you will be in this first one, but not too much because you might have too much of burnout, stress, etc. That is the best quality, where there will be constant, continuous improvement, self-development, listening to talks, attending seminars, going for training programs, reading books, meeting good people, listening to seminars, etc. And as far as work is concerned, keeping abreast of latest development, technical developments, etc. These are the important things which will improve the quality of life. Okay, but you have to do this thing. Next will be, you have to follow what is known as the Pareto principle. You have heard this name, Pareto? P-A-R-E-T-O. It's also called 80-20 rule. In simple words, what it says is 20% of your time spent on vital activities gives you 80% of result, 80% of your production. You see? And 80% of the time spent on trivial attitude gives you only 20%. So obviously what you need to do is increase the amount you are putting in here, the 20% of activity which gives you 80% result, shifting it, creating time, finishing up this fast and creating more time for that, so that your productivity and self-satisfaction, everything improves. Okay. So for effective time management, what you need to do is identify high payoff activities. Which are the activities which will give me the maximum profit, maximum benefit, etc. Identify that and try to create more time to invest in that. So again, for that, if you are in that this thing quadrant, you will have time to think about that, introspect, retrospect, etc. Otherwise, you will keep on doing that because
Major portion should
yeah,
go on that.
yeah, okay. So that's important. Next is delegation. Delegation is one of the most important tools of time management. As I told you earlier, delegation means handing over your work to somebody else and authorizing him to do it. But one thing you must remember in delegation, the accountability is yours. Your accountability does not go. So you have to pick up the right person, etc. So what happens is that if you delegate well, that's again if you are in that quadrant, you develop your subordinate, pass on more and more work to him or to them, so that you are free to do higher work. Or go and play golf also. See, in America they play golf and they do business. Why America? Bombay also they do that now. Yeah. See, so they go for parties, it becomes a business party. They are not working necessarily by sitting at their desk. Okay, they have created that.
Only their presence is important.
Yeah, you know, a good manager is one without whom the institution can run. You see, he has trained people so well. So in delegation, you delegate to somebody, and that person, you do only the work which you are required to do. Only you can do. Some power which only you can exercise. You do only that. The rest you give it, and keep a control over that. Okay.
Major decision making.
Take a small thing. Supposing I'm working in a bank. Like I was working in a bank. As a manager, I had the authority to pass all the checks which came in clearing, and they would come 100, 200 checks. Now, if I'm going to sit down and pass each one, I won't be able to do anything else.
It's a
Waste of time. So, I teach somebody and how to do it, what to look at it at the check. See, actually explain to him what to look at it, because he should have confidence to do it. And then when he starts doing, I'm free from that work. So I can do something else. I can look at yesterday's check and see whether there are any bounce check and who are the culprits, whatever it is. I can. Otherwise, you are just doing. Okay, so that is delegation. That is very important to. Okay. Next will come what is known as time log.
time log.
आपको फोन में log आता है ना? So like that's time log.
All log.
Yeah, time log is to be more effective. You keep a record of your time, how it was spent from morning to evening. You do that. You see. In other words, you maintain a log. That is called maintaining a log. You see. If you do it for a few days,
Automatically you will know.
you will get some idea about where you might be able to improve. For example, you might find that you are spending a lot of time in reading newspapers. You are spending a lot of time in reading unnecessary circulars. It's not pertaining to your department, you have no time, but you, or whatever it is, or you are chit-chatting too much, or whatever you are doing, or sleeping too much. So that you can improve on that. So time log is very important. Okay. Next will be which will be more taken up in the next talk which I'll give on assertiveness. The important thing is learn to say no.
Yes, most of.
Be assertive. Learn to say no. We are
When to say no?
whenever it is necessary for you to say no. Supposing you have decided that you have got work, you are going to see a house which you are going to buy, or a car which you are going to buy, or visiting your uncle who's in the hospital, etc. And I tell you, chal yaar, picture. Now you have to say no to me.
Priority based on priority.
Based on priorities. And without being aggressive, without insulting and humiliating others, you decide for yourself what is good, and very mildly, but in mildness of this, I can't come today. Finish, period. Don't give long-winded. Once you give long-winded explanation, then he will pick up something else. You can go tomorrow, you do this. Don't give explanation. No, it's not possible for me. I'm going. My wife is waiting for me, I'm going. Whatever the reason it is. Oh, my health is not okay, my doctor said this, etc., so I can't come. I tell you.
Most important in corporate, because lot of your subordinate will say just to please you. सब आप भी जरा आके देख लो. जरूरत नहीं है, आप करो. Last is मैं.
So yeah, and without being aggressive, as I said, you just have to do it. Very politely you can say no. You can be very polite and firm. It's not as if to be firm doesn't mean you have to be rude or something. Don't be rude, but learn to say no. In other words, I said be assertive. We'll learn in the next session difference between assertive and aggressive. Then you'll understand better. Okay. So there are so many superfluous activities, so many distractions, and superficial things. Phone calls. So just learn to say no to all that. Be focused on what you're doing. Okay. Then the next thing is, there's something called prime time. Just wake him up. Are you awake? Okay. Prime time. What is prime time?
Which will improve your either efficiency, productivity, or quality of life.
Yeah. Prime time is that time in which you do your best work. Okay. And everybody has got his prime time. You want to say something? Bolo?
नहीं सही है ये
सही है.
बढ़िया प्राइम टाइम सही
So what happens is, so do your difficult work, high payoff activity work in your prime time, when you are doing best work, do that. And the other trivial work, etc., you do in the... Now I'll tell you, my example is when morning I get up, I go for a walk, and if I don't go, I brush my teeth and have a cup of tea, I'm very fresh. And that's the best time I can take up most difficult work, prepare my lectures, prepare my talk, whatever it is, I can do that.
Your body, mind is alert.
Yeah, very alert. Now, if I use that time to read the newspaper, I am wasting time. Reading newspaper is part of my daily work. I need to be considering the position I am in, the circle in which I move, etc. Naturally, if I have to move with you all, I have to keep myself abreast, if not details, at least something about it. So reading newspapers or magazines or listening to news or even seeing some TV, etc. But if I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock and watch TV, when I got work to do, then when I'm tired of watching TV at 8 o'clock, I start trying to work. So prime time, learn to use your prime time, okay? When you're most healthy and energetic. There will be a good balance between moderation and, okay. Next thing is you need to manage your health. As you grow up, sir, you'll realize that health is the most important thing. We lose a lot of time because our health.
Foundation of everything.
Huh?
Foundation of
Everything. If you fall ill, how can you work more? If you go to the office, but you're not at your best. So unproductive use of time. So managing health is important. So do everything that is required. Create time for that. Make that one of your priorities. I would say make that the priority. And particularly when you start aging, when you're young, you don't realize that health is so important. But yeah, so you manage your health. So that whatever it is, proper diet, recreation, and things like that. And along with health, next you have to manage your stress. That's very important. Okay. Otherwise, if you are under stress, your productivity is impaired. If your health is not good, your productivity suffers. So these are some of the ways in which you can effectively manage time. Okay. Now there is something called like committed time. We are required to do that whether we like it or not. Taking your child to school, buying sari for your wife, taking her out for birthday. You just can't. You just can't avoid that. And you need time for shaving, bathing, changing dress, wearing something. So you need time. You also cannot avoid visiting people. If you are staying away from your parents, you need to go at least once a week there. You yourself will not feel okay if you do. So these are committed times. After all, you are a human being. It's a whole siesta of things you have to see. And
has to be done.
keep right, good relationship. And you also need it. Emotionally satisfying it is for you also. It is emotionally satisfying for you also. So see if you can convert this committed time into time opportunities. I have to go to your house. What is it called, naming ceremony? I had gone somewhere, Bandung. Now if I go 1 hour in the train, can I do something? Can I read? Can I carry tape with me and listen to some motivation talk? Can I take my computer and if I'm good at it, work on some reports, etc.? Most of my presentations I do while traveling. Can I revise my presentation, what I'm going to speak tomorrow, how I'm going to speak? So these are ways you convert it into practice. I tell you one thing, LLB, after my graduation, I was required to earn money from family position or such. So I was doing my LLB and I was working also. Okay. No leave, nothing. Believe me, the entire LLB course, first LLB and second LLB, I did almost entirely in the bus. Waiting for bus to go to office, getting into the bus, reading in the bus only, both morning, evening, most of the time, except for last 8 days before the exam. Now that is converting committed time to time opportunities. Okay, so we have to be careful about that. There's one thing about time, that we always have time to do what we really want to do. We create time. If somebody tells you, I don't have time or I don't get time, no, you won't get time. You have to create time for yourself. You have to create time for yourself. Okay. Now there are something called major time wasters. What are the things which make you waste your time? We'll just rush through. है ना 10-15 मिनट और है ना?
Quadrant 4th act.
20 minutes.
है बाकी है ना?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. I won't take more than that. Okay. So we have to control our time wasters so that you have more time for the activities which you should spend time on. Okay.
Unsoluble
I'm sorry, yeah.
WhatsApp.
Correct. Yeah. First one is being organized or being unorganized. That's a big wastage of time. You'll be surprised. A study taken in USA revealed that an executive, a good executive, not that they are not working, a good executive spends 6 weeks in a year on searching or looking for things. Total waste. 10% of his time. 52 weeks in a year, 6 weeks he wastes on looking for things. Do you suffer from that? I suffer from that. You take out pen, that doesn't work. You want to refer some circular, you don't know where you have kept it. Stapler तो मिलता ही नहीं कभी. And whatever it is, clips, pens, rubber, pencil, books, paper, जगह पे रहते हैं. We don't keep it, and we waste time looking for it, and we feel we have done a lot of work. And if you are lucky to have a wife who is organized, it's good. Otherwise, every day you will hear that. Right today, okay. So that's very important that you take care of. The one simple principle is regarding papers, which is said that throw away anything that you don't need. Throw it away, anything that you don't need, and file what you have not thrown away. So the problem comes with what you have not thrown away. So file it properly, in a proper place. So that if at all you need it next time, you know where to look for it. Otherwise you spend hours looking for the thing. Okay. So that is a major time waster. Second major time waster is his favorite, interruptions. Interruptions are a big time. You are busy working, I have no work, no, then God help you. Okay. So interruptions, these are the greatest time waster. See, in interruption what happens, let's say I'm working and I'm working very seriously, I'm focused on a very important, difficult matter, etc. Don't take it amiss. You come. Kai machine tab kasa hai tumi? And then sit down without being asked to sit down also and talk. Are kal raat ko main picture gaya, what it is. Now you talk for 10-15 minutes. So you have wasted that 10-15 minutes of mine. And you go. But it's not those 15 minutes alone that are wasted. I need another 15 minutes to refocus. I'm not a computer, no, press one button or something comes up, press another button, something. I need time to refocus again and get into that same thing. So I'm wasting a lot of time. So interruptions are a big time wasters. You have to learn how to deal with that. A few suggestions I can give is work early or work late in the evening. Work early in the morning. Go there before anybody else comes. And work late, take work home or something. In other words, there will be less interruptions. But you will have some very faithful friends. If you come, "Arey sahab, aap jaldi aate, main bhi aunga kal se jaldi." And you are finished. Okay. If possible, employ people to help you. Some secretary, some assistant, some aide. And who comes in between you and people who interrupt you. If I'm sitting in my cabin and working, and this person is a person who regularly comes and disturbs me, I put Anita out there so that she screens people. Okay. Same thing happens to my telephone. I don't answer telephone. I mean, you should not answer telephone. Let your assistant, if you have one, do all the answering and train her to what calls should be passed on to you. Screen those calls. Okay, do that.
Same with email. Like
Email, yeah, that email is now.
No, not direct email.
CC.
To boss, which is not required.
Not-
Just आपको information के लिए भेज रहा हूँ, like that.
Right. So that is it. So this all telephone, वगैरह, handling telephone, drop-in visitors. I'll talk about that later. Drop-in. So we had three things we said: interruptions, and we given some suggestions. The other thing is negative body language. Now here is where negative body language is very useful.
Very useful, yes.
What do I mean by, supposing I'm sitting here and somebody comes in, you come in. I don't sit down. I don't shake hands with you. I stand up. Yes, what is it? Now that is a negative body language. If you start talking so much, I go out and look for my file, something like that. I'm conveying to you that I don't want you to be around. Yeah, looking like this. That will become too obvious. Looking, okay. Or then you have to pretend, call again, I'm going. Then negative, you got it? You can even walk out. Even otherwise what we do, you are coming to waste my time. I come to see you, for example, and you find that I wasted your time. Tomorrow morning when I come, what you will do? Arey, how yaar, Rashid saab, machad saab, bete, bahut din ho gaye, mile nahi, kuch chai bhai piyenge. Now you are encouraging me to waste time for you. Okay. So negative body language means don't offer a seat, don't offer a cup of tea. If possible, don't shake hands also. And look as if you are in a hurry. Without telling him. So that next time also he will hesitate to come. Okay. Then tendency to go it alone. That's a big waste of time. Or even if you have got assistant, you don't want to give them work because you don't trust them. And what happens with that is your work increases. Work increases means what? Your time becomes less.
Too much taking on yourself.
Yeah, and so time becomes less because you are just working. Now there are some people, I tell you, olden times in banks and all that. I worked with them. They were called Bade Babu, head clerks. They will tell them, Baba, barabar check karke bhejna, what is going. Now that person checks the original, checks the duplicate. No, and no, that those are the time to check karega. That is wasted time. But then he'll check the duplicate of that also. I have told him so many times, right? Duplicate is duplicate. It will be the same thing. No, don't do it. No, sab kabhi mistake hoga to. I said my responsibility. You check this properly and don't check it more than twice. You focus and do it well. But since you are used to checking, I said don't check it more than twice. Okay, don't worry. If anything happens, if there's some mistake, something is wrong, I'll take the responsibility. I will do something to rectify it. But you don't waste your time. वो बेचारा 8 बजे सुबह को आता था, रात को 9 बजे तक काम करता था. He's a sincere fellow, not wasting time. Very sincere. But they have been brought up unnecessarily. So they are your resources, the staff that is given to you. Make good use of them. Let them do the work which you are doing also. They will take interest, I tell you. My personal experience has been that they take interest when you trust.
And that is better for you. If you are not coming for 1 or 2 days, they will take care.
They will take care. Arey bhai jara, no, if you come also jara lunch ko jata hai, because your girlfriend is waiting there. You are not worried because they are there.
And that is the quality of good leadership.
Good, yeah. Next is time wasted is procrastination. You understand what is procrastination? Doing tomorrow what you should do today. Putting it off. Anything that is required to be done, you put it off. Aaj nahi hai. Yeah. That is I think everybody has got this habit, to some extent. Huh? One way of dealing with this procrastination is you follow what is known as the T and T philosophy. T and T. Today, not tomorrow. Whatever you have to do, it comes, I'll do it today, not tomorrow. But most of us say tomorrow, not today. Because T and T is both. Okay. So procrastination. Now you will be surprised. Procrastination is bad for time management. It doesn't make it. But its opposite also is bad. Acting too soon. That also is ineffective.
Some waiting is required. I mean,
Yeah, you might, in a hurry, you take a decision in a hurry, and then what happens is that it's a wrong decision, then you have to come back, withdraw, and then more time has gone.
sometimes diplomatic way.
Yeah, so, okay. So don't act too soon also. Some time, think over, depending on the importance, how much it have. Then, negative emotions. If you have got negative emotions, you cannot work well. Negative emotions like anger, hatred, jealousy, boss is favoring him, boss is doing this thing, that thing, udhar बैठ के line मारता है, उसको सब देता है, and all sorts of things which causes a lot of delay and inefficiency, I would say. Not only delay, inefficiency. तो दिमाग इधर नहीं, दिमाग इधर वो मुझे ऐसा बोला, वो ऐसा बोला. The same way, which I am also now guilty of this and which I have overcome to a large extent, is regretting and daydreaming. You start daydreaming, aisa hota tha, I would have done like that. And regretting, why did I take up this, why should not have taken up this job, I should have done this. Abhi ho gaya. Now what are you going to do? Get on with life and not think about all your past mistakes or past desires, etc. Okay. Laziness, I need not tell you. Today I was very happy. I read Ajay they've got something in the paper, and he said I'm a very lazy person. There are good people in this world. Yeah. So laziness, no, of course, it's one has to break that habit. And one way of breaking this habit of procrastinating or being lazy is what are the great author or management author? Anyway, he said, if you get the name, tell me. I'll tell you the name. He said, eat the dirty frog first thing in the morning. The ugly frog, not dirty, he said ugly frog. It will come, when you're going home it will come. The sign of aging.
That is, I think, Kane Blanchard.
No, it's not Kane Blanchard.
1 minute manager?
No. Anyway, it will come. So, understand, actually there's tremendous strength in doing the most difficult work first thing in the morning. Even in your personal life also.
Brian Tracy.
Huh?
Brian Tracy.
Maybe, Brian Tracy. So what I'm saying is that even in your personal life, if you do the difficult thing first, the rest of the day goes very well. You're on a high, okay, so try and do that. Regretting the laziness. Then two things are there. Most important is that you're covered if you can, not knowing what is your priority, what is important and not listing your priorities. That is a great time waster because you do work haphazardly. Okay. In fact, if you take care of this, other things will fall into place. Okay. And there is something called unexpected delays. I got an appointment with my cardiologist today at 8 o'clock. I go to his clinic exactly at 8 o'clock and he sees me at 10:30. 2.5 hours I'm waiting there. And people like you all are there. Okay. I go to the airport. Yeah, my flight is at 8 o'clock. I rush up 3 hours before you have to report. 5 o'clock I report. The flight takes off at 12 o'clock. 7 hours of mine gone. I go to the dentist. He keeps me waiting. Now I should learn to use this time also. These are happening. You can't do anything about it. Instead of grumbling, instead of grumbling and getting irritated, etc., go, be prepared that yes, you may have to wait. I never used to leave my house without a book or some scraps of papers. Okay. So you can do that reading, you can take a tape. I'm not very technically qualified, so I don't, otherwise you take tapes, you can dictate your memos, etc. So many things you can do. Okay. As I told you, your presentations, the speeches you are going to give, etc. You can. And another thing I do is, I don't know, we'll talk later on a topic called affirmation and visualization. The best time is to use that time for affirmation and visualization. While instead of getting angry with the dentist or the lawyer, then you become assertive and take it up with them. But you protect your time. If you don't protect your time, nobody else will protect. Okay, not even your ever-loving wife. So protect your time. Okay. So these are some more. Now simple time wasters. सब बंद हो गया आपका? Oh sir, बंद हो गया आपका?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay, let us just run through briefly. There's some time wasters in addition to all these major things that simple. You all know it. Excessive sleeping. You need 6 hours sleep or 8 hours sleep, you sleep for 10 hours. You still sleep again in the afternoon, etc. Then excessive newspaper reading. Read for half an hour, 1 hour, you can read for 4 hours also. Then excessive TV watching. आजकल तो मोबाइल है इसका तो I told you mobile is there, WhatsApp is there, then you WhatsApp, then messages, so all that excessive, everything excessive. Excessive chit-chatting. You know, I have heard telephone conversation between two persons, I will not tell you who they are. They said bye at least 10 times before they really put the phone down. Acha, then okay, bye. And just I thought I'm going to get the phone, and uska kya ho gaya, ye kya ho gaya, again it goes on. So excessive chit-chatting on the phone or face-to-face, lengthy writing. Learn to be concise, concise, without sacrificing courtesy and completeness, clarity, sab rakho, but be concise. Don't keep on going round and round, etc. Okay, these are some of the things we spend on long-winded telephone call. Another thing is reading very slowly. a very effective way of managing your time well is learn speed reading. फटाक करके पढ़ लेने का, फटाक करके.
Generally, one paragraph will have only one eye.
Yeah, one eye. If you do that, and you'll remember better, it's a very funny thing. But yeah, reading. So this you are very familiar with a lot of waste of time. Other waste of time will be dealing with paper. Here I'm talking not newspaper, but dealing with your office corporate papers. You see, the same paper you see at least 10 times. अभी देखा, अच्छा कल करेगा. Keep it in your interest. You should, you know it. Yeah? If you have worked in any office, you will do it afterwards. Then again, same thing.
Proper filing.
Yeah, so same paper comes to you 10 times. The way to overcome this is, what will you do? Deal with the paper only once. It's called the 3D policy. When the paper comes to you, do it. Whatever is required to be done. Do it, into bracket now. Do it now. Second D, if you are not doing it now, delegate it now. Okay, do it now, delegate it now. And third is, if you are not delegating and not doing it, then destroy it. क्या ज़रूरत है तुमको रखने की? Yeah, the idea is deal with that paper immediately. Same thing is plan your work. There's a nice phrase again by one of these people. Failing to plan is planning to fail. If you fail to plan, you are actually planning to fail. So plan this thing. Then being organized, have a place for everything and keep everything in its place, etc. Combine activities, I have told you already. One other very good way of becoming a good time manager is develop the habit of asking yourself every day at odd time, is this the best use of my time now? Whatever you are doing, suddenly ask yourself for a moment, is this the best use or can I do something else? And you may find out some things which you can do. Okay. Then reserve your energy. When you go for shopping, I know this, we don't go, but Anita will do. When you go for shopping, go with a list again. You save so much of time. Otherwise, you come back, you.
Otherwise, you just move around.
Move around. No, and then you buy also. And you buy 13 things and come. And left out 7 things which you really wanted. But if you list out, you check it up there only. Always work with list. Don't give unnecessary strain. Yeah, work with list only. So these are the things you can do. Lastly, important thing I'll tell you, still 2 minutes? Meetings. Meetings take up a lot of your time. Meetings. Now you have to learn to deal with meetings. First and foremost, attend only those meetings which is absolutely necessary, compulsory that you should do it. If you can send somebody else, send somebody else.
Where you can contribute.
Yeah. That is the first thing. They always start meeting on time.
And some of the corporate managers, they have the habit of calling all.
सबको आपका time waste करते हैं. They waste not only their time, they waste everybody's time. Okay. Start on time, end on time. Okay. Your meeting, in fact, your cabin also should be placed. Supposing this is my cabin. Let's say, suppose this is my cabin, and if I sit down this way, I'm inviting people from there to come and talk to me. I should put my chair this way, or sit in the corner where people can't see me. See, I can see them, but they can't see me, etc. That will discourage interruptions. Okay. So meetings, do it. Start on time, finish on time. Prepare an agenda. Again, it's like a to-do list. And only discuss the agenda. In most meetings, what happens is the agenda is forgotten and people talk about other things. He will talk, अरे मेरे को increment क्यों नहीं दिया? You will talk about, मुझे transfer क्यों करते हैं? This one will talk about something that, etc. And what are things, etc. So, meetings you take care of. Okay, finally, we can conclude by saying that time is the most precious resource. Use it well. Okay. And we have analyzed a lot of reasons why we waste time, how we waste time, and what we need to do, majorly and in minor way also. Any questions? I'm open to.
You have put it in a very nice way.
Thank you.
And